Alright. Number 9. We have here Jimmy stating that, basically a response type of status where he was very facetious and, he was being kind of a douche about it, but the point nonetheless was there. And Kimberly, of course, being the emotional individual that she is, didn't get the point, or maybe she did, and then it struck a chord with her, so of course she attacked him aggressively and emotionally with some failed logic and blah blah blah, and then she just wanted to insult him and buying a dictionary. It's just like pretty clear as day that she didn't have anything to actually give a response with, because this whole if you need to be on a break, literally have a relationship with someone else who isn't complaining about her on Facebook, because again, went right over her fucking head because she's an idiot, you know. And he's like, I need a break, so I'm going to end this. It's over. You're too needy. That was such a perfect response to her. Anyways, and then he gave him a little bit more of a serious response, stating how Kimberly's strengthening his position. It was a response to the post, clear as day, but just as every other female, she only picks the spot where she wants the story to begin. And that's why it must end, free bird. And then, of course, Riley, which on this thread or post, Riley was notorious for commenting on as many as she could, apparently, and mainly it was saying the same thing, of how men needed therapy and crap like that, because she's extremely gender biased, and mind you, she also was ugly. She was white, ugly, feministic, and overweight. So again, I'm not surprised by the hostility. Number 10. John states the obvious. Dear ladies, stop dating trash. If you can't, perhaps it's you that should consider therapy. Oh, that's so true, though. I mean, really. If they're the ones, because there's common denominator between, all these other trashy men, and that's her. She is the one who is the common denominator. So clearly, she is the one with the problem. Anyways, then we have good old Angelica. LOL. Because we can tell when someone ain't shit? What? Because people don't pretend to be something they're not. What? Oh my god. Anyways, John was like, yes, actually, you can. A lot of you choose to ignore the signs, like I said before. Yep. I've actually been guilty of the same when it comes to women. I'd say I was blinded by lust. But that's a cop-out. The difference between you and I here is that I'm willing to admit it. Oh my god, John kicked her ass intellectually. Because yes, everyone in their lifetime, male or female, has at least, had their moment of idiocy where they chosen one bad person or the other because they're either really horny or aka the blinded by lust thing. But the fact of the matter is, you made a bad decision, and the difference between men and women is men are able to admit it. They're willing to, whereas females, such as Angelica, are not able to, because I'm assuming she meant can't, but she's idiot and can't spell can't. Tell when someone ain't shit. Because, again, just like in the very first screenshot, I went over how you have to get to know somebody. She's that type of chick where Angelica would be like, oh, he's hot, so I have to be in a relationship with him now. I'm going to have any effort. I'm not going to take any time to really get to know the guy. I'm just going to hop on his cock as soon as possible. And then she's going to, later on find out how much of a douchebag he is, and then she's going to bitch about how men are. Same old, same old. Number 11. Brett states, dear women, maybe you are the ones who need therapy, seeing as how you can't stop going home with fuckboys who remind you of your daddy issues. Plus, stop dating based off appearances. This is once more, stating on, the very obvious common denominator thing here where they're clearly the ones that are dating every fuckboy instead of the good, decent American man. Instead, they choose to get with douchebag and thugs and bad boys and anyone else who reminds them of their daddy issues. And of course, the notorious dating men based off of appearances only, because that's all they fucking care about. Brett called them out on so many different levels. It was amazing. I just wanted to put this one in here just because it just in a very nutshell type way just kind of sums up everything, So, moving on. Alright, Lanny states, if you're potentially hurting yourself in any aspect for a man, I think it's you that needs counseling as well. Then Ashley. Oh my god, Ashley. This chick was on so many different people. Anyways, she states that Lainey was doing the victim blaming thing, in which, this is a female versus female, by the way, in which Lainey responds, LMFAO, laugh my fucking ass off, bitch. If you're if you're staying in a toxic relationship to a point where you're self-harming or harming yourself, whether it be in any way, is not a goddamn victim. Shut up with your bullshit. And then she responded yet again, do you know what a narcissist is? Because you're seriously confused on what a victim is. Go shave your armpits. We're done here. Oh my god, Lanny, I love you. So basically what Lanny did here was Ashley went for the whole, cop-out method of saying that, she was just blaming, victim blaming, because, how women are always the victim, right? Well, this chick was clearly, living in her fantasy land of being of the whole victim mentality. Lanny was not up for that bullshit. So, she pointed out a very obvious truth here, that if you're going to stay in any sort of relationship that leads to any sort of harm of oneself, of any way, mentally, emotionally, physically, etc., is not a goddamn victim. Shut up with your bullshit. And then again, do you know what a narcissist is? Because you're seriously confused on what a victim is. And then the whole shaving your armpits thing is stating that Ashley was a feminist, and feminists are notorious for not shaving their armpits and stuff like that. And so Lainey ended it with, we are done here, because clearly Lanny owned Ashley like that of 1,000 suns. Shout out to Lanny. Number 13. Elvis. What a name. Alright, anyways. States, funny how men are always the problem. It's never the women. Even when she is the common denominator. You've had how many shitty relationships? Yet men are the problem. Then here we have Ashley yet again responding, saying, Elvis, let me guess, the shoe fits. That's why you're taking this personally? Again, Ashley's trying to turn this around to fit the agenda, to fit the narrative, and personally attack Elvis, trying to invalidate him, and so on and so forth. Manipulation type crap. As women like to twist words and assume, aka make an ass of themselves like no other. And so then he responds like I would expect him to, with actually no. I just get sick of the girls that constantly blame guys, but don't take time to reflect. I'm happily married with a kid. Celebrated 11 years in May. So the shoe definitely does not fit. So, yeah, Ashley was so destroyed. So very destroyed. Oh, females. Oh, females. Anyways, then Tiffany decides she wants to join in and says, if it does not pertain to you, then it's not directed at you. this post is directed at those type of men. If you're not one of them, you shouldn't be offended. Oh, the laughability. Oh, the lack of logic. Just, oh, LOL females. So then Elvis responds, where did you get that? I'm not offended. I'm not in any way offended. Like I said, I just find it funny. Truth be told, a lot of men ain't shit though. I see it firsthand through guy talk. Some of these dudes really do need help, but that goes both ways. So he maturely let it be known that there are a lot of shitty guys out there because, again, men are the only reasonable people, apparently, because we're not gender biased, you know, with this gynocentric movement and Me Too and bullshit like that diluting our minds, making us think it's all about one gender and hate the other gender. You know, we are actually the reasonable intellectuals who have ration and critically think and things like that, whereas females are just pure emotion and they don't think and they're so biased and stupid. So anyways, you know, it's just one of those things where it's accountability, it's responsibility, it's the common denominator factor. If you're always constantly finding yourself in constant shitty relationships, then you are the problem. Plain and simple as that. Make better choices. Number 14. Kyle states, as said, bitch goes on treating decent guys like they don't exist. Hashtag truth. Even though this guy's presentation sucks, and he hashtagged and he emoji'd, it just makes it easy for females to respond to. But I get what he was saying, though. He was basically saying that, you know, these females will bitch and complain and get with every douchebag under the sun, but yet any male that is decent enough to date and won't be that way, and so on and so forth, she acts as if they don't fucking exist. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad, because we don't need to be with such toxic, disgusting females like that. Anyways, continuing on. Ashley states, Kyle, sorry, women have known for a long time that just because you're a decent guy doesn't mean you deserve sex. Oh my god. I'm gonna have a... Oh my god. When are men like you, whose name is ironic, just because his name's Kyle and there's this meme on him, no. Ashley, you really are an idiot. Anyways, going to get this through their head, signed up a Fed bitches anyway. And then Jordan, just as I would want to respond, hold up a moment. Where did he mention sex? What? You know, and then Kyle responds accordingly, and Marietta decides to throw in her, oh man, she just screwed herself and her own gender by making this statement. Most nice guys are boring as fuck and have a sense of entitlement, which is a total lie and false belief and just, you know, propaganda bullshit. Anyways, that just because they're nice, they deserve a chance with a woman, which, again, false, lies, assumptions. Well, no. Attention to anyone they don't want to, especially someone they're interested in or attracted to. In my experience, most guys who are self-proclaimed nice guys are actually dicks who generally lack personality. I don't think you should worry about it anyway. You're clearly not a nice guy. You called women bitches, and you come across arrogant as LOL. And then she added, furthermore, plus there's more to finding a partner than being nice. That's just a basic standard of what someone should be. Being nice is not exactly winning criteria. Okay, and this is going to be the one that I say the most on, I'm guessing, maybe, I don't know. This one I'm doing off the cuff, like I don't have anything that I typed before. So I'm doing this, you know, wing. Anyways, okay, so Ashley started it out with the whole, if you're a decent guy thing, that doesn't mean you deserve sex. Again, just like Jordan stated, where in the fuck did he ever mention sex, for one? And yeah, that's just illogical, and there is nothing that had nothing to do with what he stated at all. She's clearly a retard that has nothing good to say. She just wanted to, I guess, start an argument. I don't know. She's clearly an idiot. So let's go to Marionetta here. She's the one that just basically KO'd herself here. Okay, so she starts out with saying, most nice guys are boring as fuck and have a sense of entitlement that just because they're nice that they deserve a chance with a woman? Wrong. This is such a popular, overstated, overused argument response out of so many females. Holy fuck. This is like the number one response that anyone ever will see and hear when it comes to females versus males. This whole narrative, this belief that nice guys are boring as fuck and they have this sense of entitlement just because they're nice and that they somehow believe they deserve a chance with a woman based off of that. Okay, so wrong. And what this Marionetta person means by boring is that we have stability in our lives. We are not going to jail every other weekend. We are financially independent. We are established in our careers. We prefer not to get drunk as fuck every day and going partying like we're some 16-year-old kid trying to fit in with college students. We don't want to do anything that will get us, like, arrested, things like that, and that thus makes us boring. That's what she's meaning by that. But they try to, cover that up by saying just that us nice guys are boring. Then the next part, which they always say, is the sense of entitlement, that just because they're nice, they deserve a chance with a woman. Wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong. Fact of the matter is, it has nothing to do with entitlement or that we deserve a chance with a woman, and has everything to do with the fact that females are always claiming, where's the nice guys? Where's a decent man who will love me and treat me right? Basically describing a nice guy, someone who will treat them right and have a very healthy relationship with them. But yet, the female then turns around and literally goes for the opposite of what she's complaining about. The opposite of what she's claiming she wants. That's what it's all truly about. It has nothing to do with entitlement or that we believe that we deserve a chance with them. No, it has to do with females saying one thing and then doing the complete and total opposite. They say they want a nice guy. They say they want someone who will treat them right and do, all these nice things and go nice places and, just have an overall healthy relationship. But yet, then they go for the first thug and bad boy and douchebag that flirts with them, when there are plenty of nice guys that would have, give them the best relationship they could ever imagine having. So that's why, all these decent guys are just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So anyways, furthermore, to tear this logic, if you want to call it that, of Marionetta's apart, she further goes on, well, no, women or any person doesn't need to give their time or attention to anyone they don't want to, especially if they're not interested in or attracted to. Clearly, everybody knows that. It's quite obvious. No human being needs to or absolutely is forced to give their time or attention to anybody else for any reason other than them wanting to. That should be the only reason that you give anyone attention, is because you want to do that. That is obvious. That is like saying hi to somebody because you want to say something to them, so you start out with hi. You know, you want to greet them in some sort of way, so you say hi. Clear as day. Anyone and everyone should know that already. The fact that she had to even say that shows that she's like stupid or something. I don't know. Anyways, she's further on says or attracted to. Again, making such a point to point out that physical attraction is a major role in this. That physical attraction is the higher priority to all other things. And again, because of this stupid logic of attraction, of physicality being more important than everything else, again, this is why they find themselves in relationships with shitty people. Anyways, then she further on goes, in my experience, most guys who are self-proclaimed nice guys are actually dicks who generally lack personality. Well, she clearly doesn't know what a nice guy is. 2, if they are dicks who generally lack personality, it's because they got tired of you females that are so ignorant and arrogant and self-righteous and vain and conceited and stupid and ignorant and just overall gynocentric, that they just got tired of being nice. Like, they really are nice people, but when it comes to retarded females, like Marionetta, for instance, they're gonna be a dick towards her, because fuck her. She's the bitchiest stuck-up cunt there is to life itself. So of course they're not gonna be nice. They just aren't gonna put up with her bullshit, and so that's why she sees them as dicks. But anyone else that talks to him or these other nice guys, he'll be nice as shit to them, until they give him a reason not to be so nice. So anyways, and then she says, I don't think you should worry about that anyways, blah, blah, blah. You're clearly not a guy, as you called women bitches, and you come across as arrogant. Ironic that Marionetta would say that, because she is arrogant as fuck herself, for one. And she doesn't know that he's not a nice guy. Just because he called women on bitches on social media, this makes him come across as arrogant. 1, that's fallacy. 2, that's assuming. 3, she's ignorant. She's, if you go through any of her posts and you see her saying anything negative or some sort of swear word on social media, well, clearly she's a arrogant asshole as well now, so, using her own logic against her. Anyways, then her other comment of saying there's more to finding a partner than being nice. That's the basic standard of what someone should be, and is not exactly winning criteria. Well, you females are so retarded that you don't even want nice, because they claim to want nice, but then go for the complete and total opposite. So, yeah, her logic is 100% flawed, and she's truly as ignorant as any female could ever be. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I could talk about that subject all on its own, which I probably will do anyways. So we'll just move on. Number 15. So Damien here states that women need to start looking for red flags. He must have had a mistype there. Start looking for red flags, pursuing anyways while passing out plenty of healthy men, blah 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 blah. Then of course we have the same Ashley from the post before. You'll see a lot of these same people, I swear, saying, sorry, this isn't true. Just because a girl is healthy-minded doesn't mean men fall in love with them. So why would you expect this of a woman? Or are women just instantly expected to drop their panties when a man meets minimum standard? Of which Damien responds, so when you don't like something you hear, you pinpoint the one thing I said and ignore the rest. Typical females. I see that all the time. That's all females can ever do, because actually arguing the entire thing that he said, they know they can't beat it. They will lose, and they know they can only pinpoint one thing and only argue that one thing because that's the only thing they can go for, and they know it. Anyways, or are men supposed to accept women just because they're fat or have kids? We're expected to just accept all these things because that's just how life goes. So if you want to go that route, we can go down it. Oh, he kicked her ass intellectually and with logic. Damn, that was just harsh as fuck, but in a good way though. Oh, hell yeah. You know what? I don't even got much more to say. He said it all right there, man. He put her down and put her in her place. Thank you, Damien. Number 16. We have here another Damien, or Damon, actually, I should say, saying, "Dear women, stop targeting all men just because you have shitty taste in men. Sincerely, the non-toxic men." And here we go with a simpleton, Kathy, again, just wanting to suppress and oppress and force a narrative onto men with a simple shut up. Because telling men to shut up and just forcibly accept their narrative, their agenda, their beliefs. Yep, that's right. Just shut up and accept it. Because that's all they want, is to have this forced narrative and agenda. Just shut up and accept what we're saying because we're saying the truth and you're wrong and I'm right. Kind of attitude. Yep, just try to suppress and oppress us. Typical female attitude. And by the way, Kathy was a fat ass. Holy shit, she was fat, like obese, like a walking blob. So maybe she could only type shut up before her fat fingers got tired and she passed out or something, I don't know. Anyways, again, they went to the default shut up because he stated something that was so logical and so reasonable that the only thing she could say was basically shut up because she, didn't want to accept anything different than their brainwashed, gynocentric agenda and narrative. So I always find it funny how many times during this whole entire time that I saw women just saying the words shut and up. Cognitive dissonance. Good old cognitive dissonance. Number 17. Alright, so here we had another fat African-American, ignorant, unattractive female. Simone, where she stated, "Where did she say only men need therapy? Or are y'all making assumptions?" Someone points out a flaw with some men and y'all want to start insulting women left and right. No, it's not insulting women. We're just literally making the same status and reversing the genders. We're just saying the same things, just switching men and women. And she finds that insulting. Mind you, it's not insulting when a woman does it to a man, but when a man does it to a woman, it's therefore insulting. Remember that, folks. And then while claiming that there are good men, sounds like y'all are confused. And if you parade around claiming that you are a nice guy because you are a nice guy, you're entitled to women. You're probably not that. Again, just like we saw a couple screenshots ago, this false. This fallacy and these false arguments and false claims and assumptions. Oh my god. Then George states, the post literally says "Dear men," which is targeting just and only men. It's gender specific, Simone. And then she states, did she specifically say only men? Hey, dumbass, you dumb slut, you ugly ass whore. It says "Dear men." That of its own right says that we are only specifically targeting the male gender. You dumb ass. God, Simone is such a fucking retard. And then she's all like, "Y'all are just proving the point of this whole post at this point." That's just the false narrative that she wants to try to say is the whole post, the whole point of the post, when it's clearly not, for one. And two, people just say you're proving the point when there is no point that needs to be proven. They're just saying, basically they're trying to say, oh, I'm just right and you're just wrong, and because you disagree with me, that my point is right and the point of the post is right, and they're just, they're so biased and so cognitive dissonance in their response, and so emotional, that they don't see the hypocrisy, the contradiction, and just how pathetically pitiful they are in their attempt to try to continue this narrative and this agenda of man-hating and female-only type stuff with their victim mentality and so on and so forth. And, they make it into more than what it was, and, bringing up the whole nice guy thing, that had nothing to do with the fucking post, and so on and so forth. And it's just like, yeah, okay, basically what you're saying too is, alright, don't be a nice guy. Clearly they don't want nice guys, men out there listening to this. They don't want nice guys, obviously. They're just saying that all nice guys are just fakes, and that they don't want the nice guy, because clearly the nice guys are the ones who aren't, dateable. They don't want to date nice men. So you know what? Fuck it. That's why I'm just like, fuck it. I'll just be the biggest douchebag possible, because clearly you females don't appreciate the good men, the nice guys, the intelligent gentlemen out there. So I'm just gonna be the biggest dick possible, because that's all you females care about, is the shitty people anyways. So while they are trying to tear down this whole false narrative of nice guys think they're entitled to women and you aren't actually nice if you claim to be a nice guy, what they're actually promoting while doing that is the promotion of not being nice, of being the opposite, because they're trying to paint this picture that nice guys aren't actually nice. And they don't want to be with nice guys, because nice guys are boring, and nice guys are this and that. They're everything but dateable, more or less. So what they're literally promoting is to be a mean guy, a dastardly, destructive, evil man with just the shittiest of intentions, because that's the only men they'll date anyways. I mean, seriously, Simone's logic and the other person's logic and any other female that has that sort of logic and uses that argument are terrible people. They are so toxic and so stupid and ignorant and self-righteous and such fallacies in everything they say. It's just like, how do these people live on a day-to-day basis without dying? How do they eat? How do they drink? They're so retarded. I can't believe these people actually can live day-to-day and go throughout life. It's amazing. Number 19. Alright, so back to when I make that post on that whole Dear Men Get Therapy post. Before I got blocked, I got this screenshot, and it had this African American, with this whole I'm a ghetto bad bitch type attitude, and you could tell she was one of those I'm a thug woman type personas and shit like that. And ugly, by the way. Anyways, she was all like, Michael, boy, shut it the fuck up. And uses an emoji, furthermore showing how socially inept she is, because words are too difficult, because the English language is too difficult. I can't explain or communicate without using an emoji. You don't have to flip everything around. Stay on topic. Again, they don't want, Ariel doesn't want this narrative, this agenda to be challenged. She doesn't want it to be, talked about on an equal playing field. She only wants it to be about males being bad and needing to go to therapy, and women are such victims, and blah, 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 blah. And so I was like, yeah, you can shut the fuck up. And yes, I can flip everything around. Clearly, you cannot stay on topic either, since you're not on topic what I commented on this thread. You're intellectually dishonest and you use emojis. Shows how inept you are. Which, to kind of, give a point on that is, she didn't want me to flip around because she didn't want a challenge because hashtag echo chamber. If we're going to bring hashtags into this, I'm becoming as immature as she is at this point. Jesus fuck. She wants to be in this echo chamber. Not to have a, challenge. She wants to be in a circle jerk where it's, basically people with the same ideology and same beliefs. Nothing to challenge it. Nothing to have a different ideology. It's all the same. Just patting each other on the back in a group circle type mentality. And then tells me to stay on topic while she was unable to stay on topic herself. The hypocrisy was unreal. And the use of emojis always tells me just how unserious of an individual they are. Like, I cannot take any sort of response seriously if it has emojis in it, because anyone who's even halfway serious knows that emojis are childish, they're immature, and the only people that use them are people who cannot be taken seriously, who aren't intelligent enough to hold a conversation and communicate thoroughly by, using words, not using emojis. Because emojis are just replacements of expression, where they are literally replacement for words. So they are so socially inept and so intellectually stupid, they lack intelligence so much that they have to use that emoji instead of a word because they can't think of the word that they can express themselves with, so they put a stupid little emoji in there. So based off of that lack of intellect and social ineptity, that tells me right off the bat that they're too stupid to have a conversation with if they cannot communicate without using the emojis. There are times and places for everything. And sure, emojis, they're cool. There are certainly times where you can use emojis, but not when you're having a serious argument or serious discussion with another person, especially if it's something that you disagree on, because that is, again, time and place. Like, if you're just giving each other shit and being playful and ha ha he hoo ha 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 lollygagging around, then yeah, use all the fucking emojis you want. That's the perfect time to be using that, is when you're fucking around, goofing off, whatever. You're just having fun. But when you're having a serious, or trying to have a serious discussion, and you're using emojis, that just tells me everything right there. You're not someone who can be taken seriously. You're not intelligent enough to hold a conversation accordingly. And there's a huge difference between emoji users and people like myself who don't use them unless it's for fun. So, anyways. Okay, now this last photo by Daniel, or screenshot I should say, of Daniel, I wanted to specifically make for the final point of this video. And it's what Daniel said. Maybe many humans of both genders need mental help, and posts like this just divide us further. Because I absolutely, unequivocally agree with that. What he said was so neutral and so true and so accurate. There was no agenda behind what he said. There was no narrative. He just was being completely honest and completely truthful with what he said. And it could not be any more true and accurate and valid than anything that could ever be said. That was the most honest and down-to-earth response I think anyone could have ever given. He said an essay's worth of, what I want to say in just that short sentence. But I do want to elaborate at least a little bit here. So again, he made it gender neutral. He said many humans of both genders, meaning it's not just female, it's not just male, need mental help. And this is a universal fucking problem. This isn't just, one-sided anything. This is from One, from Antarctica to the South Pole, north to South Pole. Universal, left to right, up and down, diagonally. This is a universal, every single state, every country, every place where there's a human, there needs to be mental help. Plain and simple as that. To say it's anything other than that would be delusional. Anyways, to compound further on his next little bit there. And posts like this just divide us further. Absolutely correct. Damn, Daniel. Anyways, posts like this further divide us further. Absolutely. And I say that all the time, especially on my Facebook. Gender bias statuses, the female slandering of the male character, doesn't do anything but divide. And even, when men say certain stereotypes against females or whatever, like women are crazy, that's just dividing, because men are crazy too, But, anything that is a gender specific thing, like females are better than men, that's just further division in this already hyper divisive world that we live in. If it's not politics, it's religion. If it's not politics and religion, it's this. If it's not this, it's that. And if it's not this and that, and politics and religion, then it's fucking bullshit like this. The little stupid gender war that is being promoted by genocentrism and menism and blah blah blah. And if it's not that, it's the gun versus non-gun people. It's drug people versus non-drug people. It's this constant, non-stop division in one way or the other. And this is just another fucking situation. Another fucking thing that is dividing us further. And it's the stupid little gender war. Females constantly attacking men and then men attacking back, justifiably so, whether it's in defense of our own character and gender, or if it's just a, clap back, as they say, at the female gender for being so idiotic to attack us in the first place, when it's unjustified, it's unnecessary, So, Daniel nailed it right on the fucking hammer, man. He was just dead on, spot on. Thank you, Daniel. That was the best response anyone could have ever given. And so with that, I will end it with that. So thank you for listening. Until next time, goodbye.